Okay, so we're kind of in the home stretch here, and we're going to talk about the Vroom-Yetton model, sometimes called the Vroom-Yetton-Jago decision model, and it basically relates to how leaders should make decision. And there are different variations of leadership styles that are based on the type and amount of participation, and the type of leadership style that you adopt might be based on your responses to these 7 different questions. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with these, but we can see that there are different types of leadership styles here. We have A1 and A2. Both of those are autocratic types of leadership. So autocratic type 1, which is right here, is the quality of the decision important? No. Is team commitment important to the decision? No. That would be a case where an autocratic type 1 leadership style would be fine. The decision is made solely by the leader without any sort of input or consideration of subordinates. Autocratic type 2 is basically where the leader is getting information from followers and then basically makes that decision on their own. The problem or the decision may not necessarily be be given to followers. So basically the job of followers is to just provide information. So those are the 2 autocratic types. We also have consultative. So we have consultative type 1 and consultative type 2. So for example, let's say that the quality of the decision is important, team commitment, is important as well. The problem is well structured. If you made the decision yourself, would the team support it? Does the team share organizational goals? That would be a consultative type 1. Consultative type 1 is when the leader basically shares the problem with followers that are relevant, and the leader actually does this on an individual basis with those subordinates. And then basically makes the decision. The followers are not necessarily meeting each other as part of groups, so that's why we call it consultative type 2 or type 1. Consultative type 2 is when you meet with relevant followers, but they meet each other as a group. So that would be a case, for example, is the quality of the decision important? Yes. Is team commitment to the decision important? No. Do you have enough information to make the decision on your own? No. Is the problem well structured? No. This is a case where consultative type 2 and meeting with a group of relevant subordinates would be helpful. And then finally, we have what is referred to as G2, which is basically group-based type 2. I'm assuming that consultative is group-based type 1 in general, broken into those sub-components. But group-based type 2 is basically all followers are met with as a group and basically looking for ideas and suggestions. And the leader doesn't necessarily try to force their idea. So it's less of a consulting role. Like in the consultative type, you're only speaking with relevant followers. With group-based type 2, you are meeting with all followers. So there are 5 different decision styles based on the type and the amount of participation that you need. Now we're going to finish by talking about women in leadership. And a big key issue with leadership is underrepresentation in general. Your textbook reports that back in 1999, so this is about 20 years ago, so hopefully this has changed a little bit, 46% of management jobs were held by women. Women tend to be underrepresented at the top levels, and generally part of this happens because we have certain stereotypes and prototypes of what a leader should be. And oftentimes we're going to find that those stereotypes have very, very masculine qualities. Things like confidence, things like assertiveness, having a more autocratic style. So one of the things that we will often tend to find is that when women act stereotypically like women, they are more likely to engage in participative behaviors. they are less likely to be seen as leaders. So oftentimes what you'll kind of notice is that for a lot of female leaders, they have gotten to the level where they are because they adopted more masculine characteristics, and they are taken somewhat more seriously that way. Men tend to seem to better fit the job requirements of a leader based on what we think a leader should be, and they tend to have a very there's some unconscious discrimination based on what we think a leader should be. And part of that happens because, by and large, leaders have typically been men. So we assume that because men have always been leaders, that that's the best place for them. And that's not always the case. And we do also notice that there are some gender differences in terms of leadership style. In general, men are a lot more likely to be autocratic, and in general, female leaders are more likely to be participative, which tends to make them more effective, but also taken less seriously. So your book talks about this a little bit more. That is all I have. Folks, it has been a wonderful semester. I know it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but I'm glad to have spent this semester with you learning more about work and teaching you more about work. Have a great week. I hope to see you very soon. Bye.